everyone, I'm Chris Hernandez with the Weekly Report. What do you do with that old Christmas tree now that the ho-ho-ho has gone? Well, if it's a live Christmas tree or formerly live, you can recycle it for free this coming Saturday. The city has 3 leaf and brush locations and you can drop it off with proof of residency. The locations are at 11660 North Main Street, 1815 North Shoto Trafficway, and 10301 Raytown Road. For tree disposal Monday through Friday, there will be a fee of just $5 per tree. Now remember, all of the trees must be stripped off of all of the tinsel and the ornaments and other things like that. Only organic material is accepted. And what about the lights that you just took off that tree? Are they not working anymore? You can recycle those too, all the way through January 11th. There are locations all across town. A complete list of locations can be found at kcrecyclelights.com. If one of your resolutions is to get outside and walk more, then please join KC Parks and the Heartland Conservation Alliance. They're having a very special walk on MLK Day. It's a chance to reflect on the legacy and the work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Join them on Monday, January 21st. The walk begins at Martin Luther King Jr. Square at Swope Parkway and Woodland Avenue. For more information, go to kcparks.org. And due to the MLK holiday on Monday, January 21st, city offices and the 311 Center will be closed on that Monday. Trash pickup shifts to the holiday schedule, which means just one day later than usual. So Monday pickup shifts to Tuesday and so on through the week, with Friday trash collection on Saturday. For more information, visit kcmo.gov/trash. And that does it for this edition of the Weekly Report. Thanks for watching. If you want to watch this one again or any of our other programming, just go to our website at kcmo.gov/channel 2. On that page, you'll find a link to our YouTube channel where you can view our programs on demand. And remember that communication services such as Channel 2 and this Weekly Report are among the approximately 400 programs and services provided by the City of Kansas City to you, our residents. I'm Chris Hernandez. Have a Happy New Year.
Ham, turkey, potatoes, gravy, dessert. The holidays are a great time to eat, but a bad decision in the kitchen can ruin the mood.
Be mindful of the things that you pour down the drain, because it can also cause an issue to your home as well as to neighboring homes.
We're talking about fats, oils, and grease. Pouring a little bit down the drain might not seem like a bad idea, but it's a backup just waiting to happen.
It causes a reaction to the grease, which it makes it builds up like a rock. And when it builds up hard like a rock, it clogs up people's service lines, which creates a backup in homes, which make homeowners also have to call a plumber and get their service lines snaked out.
Beyond a homeowner's sewer line, fats, oils, and grease from homes and businesses also cause problems in the 2,800 miles of sewer mains that serve Kansas City.
We put a camera down the line to be able to determine the location and how much grease has impacted the sewer system.
This is what a grease clog in an underground sewer main looks like. Once a blockage is located, cleaning out a city sewer is far more involved than pouring Drano down the pipe.
We have to use trucks like this Vector right here, which is a combo unit, which makes us have to put a grease nozzle in, clean the city sewer, vac it out, deodorize the city sewer lines so the grease smell and other sewer smell don't go up in people's residence.
This work happens every day. So when you're in the kitchen, don't pour any fats, oils, or grease down the drain. Instead, let it cool and put it in the trash. It will save you and KC Water time and money. For KC Water, I'm Brooke Givens.
Megan is my favorite elephant. She is 40 years old. She's one of 4 40-year-olds that we have here. She is kind of quirky and she kind of moves at her own pace, so she requires a little bit of patience sometimes, but she's a really sweet elephant.
So what makes Megan, our elephant, very unique is the fact that she currently has hypertension or high blood pressure, and she's receiving the best care possible that any institution could provide. Her hypertension was discovered because last December 13th, she collapsed on exhibit. And fortunately, one of our visitors was able to inform us that there was an elephant down the exhibit. So everybody rushed up there. After several minutes, she kind of stood up and was okay. But in my mind, something significant had to be going on to put an elephant on the ground. I've seen personally some elephants in the past that have had heart issues, and so my first thought was, let's do blood pressures on her. So we did blood pressures on her for 3 straight days. Those were significantly elevated compared to what we have in our database. Then we went to do an ECG on her, and those showed some significant cardiac abnormalities. Based on that, she most likely has a functional tumor, and it's located in her adrenal gland. The tumor is diagnosed through diagnostic tests, but the tumor could be the size of your thumbnail and producing all these products. And in an 8,000-pound elephant, that's a needle in a haystack. There isn't a surgical option in an elephant to try and find it and then surgically remove it. The technology, the equipment is just not there for something like that. This is unprecedented in elephants on how to treat high blood pressure. The first thing we need to do is give her medication that would prevent the products the tumor is secreting from affecting her heart. We have 2 different drugs that we utilize, and she gets it every 12 hours, every day, for the rest of her life. We're currently spending, just on the 2 medications that you saw in her sandwich this morning, $6,500 per month. This is an expensive endeavor, but everybody's rooting and pulling for Megan, and she is clinically much improved.
How's your foot? Yeah, looked okay yesterday.
We designed a technique using the blood pressure cuff on the tail. It pressurizes and it kind of closes the artery, and then it lets the pressure out at stage intervals. And so the pressure releases, and when that artery flows, the unit captures that.
She gets weekly blood pressures. Every Wednesday in the morning we'll do blood pressures with her, and that's something that she's known to do for her yearly physicals. So she's already been great with that. And we just take that from the tail. We've just put a blood pressure cuff on and get the readings that way. And she's been doing great with all of that.
Our goal is to get everybody doing blood pressures on elephants. It's really cool. The elephants allow it. It doesn't hurt them. Megan doesn't have to do this if she doesn't want to. She came up to the bar, she presented her tail, put the cuff on her tail. I'll go back, I'll make clinical notes of what we saw this morning. All the results of her blood work, her urinalyses and such is all in our database. And that will be available to other veterinarians dealing with elephants that have similar episodes.
So she's been able to go out with the herd as normal during the day and at night. We just kind of monitor her every once in a while, but so far she's been great. Her personality is still the same and she can go on with her day normally.
The only way that Megan is on exhibit is because of the dedication of the staff and the support of the zoo. All departments in the zoo have a role in Megan's health and well-being. And there's been no discussion on no, we can't or no, we won't. It's all been let's do what's best for Megan. And I think she knows that we're trying to help her as well.
When you're on the accident scene, a lot of people are upset, they're nervous, they're anxious because of the situation they're in. But the way the law is set up and the way the police department and the tow lot work together is basically this. If you haven't called a tow truck to the scene, the police department will call a tow truck to the scene for you. We have a list of licensed, bonded, and insured tow truck companies, background checks on drivers, and flat rates on any tow that's done. So when we dispatch a tow truck to the scene, you're looking at a $265 tow to the city tow lot or a $265 tow to a location of the owner's choosing. And that's just so it's in the best interest of the owner. They have options to do what they need to do. There's a lot of random tow truck companies that are out there that are looking to make a fast buck and things like that, and will take advantage of people. And that's why we just would caution people to say, when you contract with a tow company, it's no different than hiring a roofer or a plumber for your home. Be aware of what's out there. If you're in an accident, police department's in a scene, say, I want a city tow. It's a set price for you. You can take it to wherever you want. You're protected. It's really in your best interest to do those types of things, just so you don't have to have the burden of trying to find someone. A lot of people do have someone that they can use, but just as a general rule, if you don't, just dispatch a city tow truck and we'll take care of the burden for you. There's a lot of companies that are just out there trying to solicit business from an accident scene. And when you do that, you never know who you're going to get. You don't know if they are insured. You don't know if they have the requirements that are in place to make sure that you're safe and sound. Not only that, there's no regulation on the price that they can charge you. Like I said before, if you dispatch a city tow truck to the scene and take care of it and bring it to your grandfather's garage or the city tow lot or whatever you choose, it's a flat rate $265. What you can get into, and oftentimes what I'll see on some of these tow bills is $1,100, $1,200, $1,300 for a tow. The same exact tow is $1,000 higher. They're just taking advantage of people. They're taking advantage of insurance companies because, like I said, people are on an accident scene. They're upset. They're shaken. They're not thinking straight. They're thinking these people are going to be in the best interests for them at the scene, and they're simply not.
I'm a case management nurse with the Kansas City Health Department's Childhood Lead Poisoning Prevention Program. The Lead Poisoning Prevention Program has responsibility of educating and assessing and following up on lead poisoning hazards in the Kansas City area.
Lead poisoning is the #1 environmental illness in children. Being exposed to lead as a child can have lifelong effects on a person's health. Lead poisoning can affect child's brain development and the development of their nerves in their hands and feet. It can cause kidney damage, hearing loss, vision damage, and problems learning. It's sometimes linked to hyperactivity and attention deficit as well. Well, recently, one of the things we've added to our lead poisoning prevention program is that in addition to a lead inspection, an inspector will come in and look at other hazards in the house that can affect a person's health. Healthy Homes Initiative, where we address other issues in the home that can affect a person's health. Some of the things that we do as part of that program are a free home inspection, and then we look at other hazards in the house that can affect a person's health, such as trip and fall hazards, carbon monoxide, fire hazards, gas leaks, and those kinds of things that can cause problems with asthma, falling, and other types of illness. On this house, we provided free window replacement because there were lead paint hazards in the windows. We also painted the door and the trim and the red paint on the eaves. Behind the house, we replaced the garage doors because the old garage doors posed an entryway for pests like mice and rats and other kinds of bugs, water, as well as a security risk. If you'd like more information about how to prevent lead poisoning in children, or more information about healthy homes and some of our resources, you can call us at 816-513-6048 or find us on the web at www.kcmo.gov.